This video message is for both Calvary parents and students, but we only have Calvary parents' email addresses in constant contact, so please forward this to your child or share it with them however and whenever you feel it's appropriate. At the end of this video, there's an update about the tentative timeline of year-end events for Calvary students. But I wanted to put those events in context. I just came back from sending back the senior trip tickets to Disney World. We had to return them, and thankfully they will get a full refund. But I can't tell you how strange it felt to send those tickets back. I can only imagine how the seniors feel about that fact. But no matter how old you are, no matter what grade you're in, you're never going to forget the spring of 2020. I believe someday you'll tell your children about this spring, and I think they're going to think it's very strange. Why is that important? Because in order for what we're going through to someday seem strange to a future generation, that means that I believe we're going to return back to normal. And I hope that soon. But I believe we'll return so much back to normal, so much back to the way things were before March, that years from now, when you're telling your kids about it, they'll shake their heads in disbelief. Because it is indeed unbelievable. It's unbelievable that restaurants are closed. It's unbelievable that stadiums that seat tens of thousands of people are empty. It's unbelievable that we won't hear the crack of a baseball bat. Graduates, both high school and college, have not had the traditional graduation. Bands that play pomp and circumstance are silent. That's strange. But I believe someday there will be packed stadiums doing the wave all around and back. Restaurants will open, graduations will be like they were, weddings will have full churches, and funerals will too. And your children will find it very hard to believe that people you know were married in quaint, almost secretive little ceremonies in their backyard where only a handful of people could gather. People you know had to put loved ones to rest in groups smaller than 10. Everywhere you went, you were expected to wear a mask. That's going to seem strange to people in the future. I believe that teams will huddle up when the coach calls a timeout, and they'll wipe sweaty faces and they'll hear the coach draw up the next play, and crowded bleachers will cheer. I believe full auditoriums will quiet when the lights dim, and the kids behind the stage getting ready to put on a play will have the jitters until that curtain opens. And at the end, I believe that crowd will applaud, the students will bow. That will all happen again. I believe that future children will know what it means to stand with countless friends in line for recess, for lunch, for checking out books at the library. I believe in the hot summer sun of some future years, and I hope it's this one. We'll search on a crowded beach for a place to put our towel, and we'll think nothing of the fact that there are thousands of people at the beach that day. I believe that on future Thanksgivings and Christmases, your house will be packed with more places for people to sit at dinner time, and you'll have to set up extra tables, and the kids will have to eat off to themselves at the kids' table, just like we used to do. And grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles will be over your house and you'll hug and kiss them. It might even be a little more special. I believe that we will go to church again and know the sweet fellowship of congregations singing together, praising our Lord. And we'll have a better understanding of what Christ meant when he said, "Forsake not the assembling of yourselves together." I believe the term social distancing will be in a history book or on some civics quiz that kids have to learn in the future, but it won't be in the evening news. When I tell future students, and you tell your children someday about the spring of 2020, they're going to say, "How did you get through that?" They might even ask again, did the whole world really push pause? Did they stop making cars, stop building houses, stop doing business as we normally do? Was there really no March Madness, no Kentucky Derby? Did Disney World really shut down? Michigan's Adventure shut down. Traveling carnivals stopped traveling to small towns to help them celebrate their special days, old-fashioned days. Coast Guard, 4th of July. Did that really happen? And by then, we'll understand the science and, yes, the politics, and we'll be able to explain it. But here's the good news. If I believe this will someday need explaining, that means I believe this is going to change and things are going to get back to normal. God has a purpose for all of these things. Never once have we doubted that. But the pause will be unpaused, and we'll live as God intended free people to live. But life is not guaranteed to be risk-free. If we wanted to take away all risks, we would say never, never swim in water that is deeper than your mouth if you're lying down. We don't do that. We weigh the risks, we weigh the reward, and we proceed with life as God intended. And we will have learned much from the experience. I think in the future people will wash their hands much better. I believe sneezing properly will be automatic. I believe sanitizing steering wheels and grocery cart handles and all sorts of things will become commonplace, and I'm fine with that. I do not believe that we will be wearing masks indefinitely. I do believe we'll appreciate seeing the faces of our fellow man more than we did before. I think we will be more excited about going to school and going to work. I think we will be happy when we see cars pulling up in front of our house and grandmas and grandpas coming in. All of this will be as natural as the coming of spring these weeks as we watch from afar. In the meantime, let's avoid the second guessing. That's hard. There's a bridge less than a mile from our house that crosses Smith's Bayou. Last June of 2019, that bridge was suddenly closed with no warning. Huge cement barricades went up. And it was explained to us that the bridge was unsafe. The same bridge that just days before had school buses crossing over it was suddenly unsafe for normal traffic. So for the entire summer of 2019, that bridge was closed and deemed unsafe. But the people of Ferrisburg kept asking, who says it's unsafe? Some of the people banded together and got a second opinion. Eventually, the Ferrisburg City Council decided by one vote that barricades were removed and Smith's Bridge was reopened. Do I drive over Smith's Bridge without hesitation? Absolutely. I would venture to say that sometime in the next 50 years, there'll be a new bridge over Smith's Bayou. Do I believe one life will be lost because that bridge collapsed? No. Now, this COVID-19 virus is serious. Tens of thousands of people in the United States have died. And I'm not even second guessing the people in authority who have made decisions that affected the spring of 2020. I think we did the right thing, and we've complied. And I think we will be telling future students and future generations about it for the good of the community, but likewise, for the good of the community, for the good of the country. We will return to normal. We have to. And with that in mind, this is the May calendar. This Saturday was going to be the junior-senior banquet. A week from Thursday, May 14th, was going to be the senior chapel. They were going to leave for Florida the next day. All those tickets have been returned. Now here's some good news. For the most part, you all have done a fantastic job. You've done all your assignments. You've kept up with your work. If the pace that we're going continues, and if you students continue to do the good work that you're doing, we are calling the last day of school, May 22nd, the Friday before Memorial Day. On that Friday, if you're caught up, you can put your books away and celebrate the beginning of summer. For students who might need a week or two or however long to finish the work, we'll keep going with those individuals. And let me just briefly say why that's important. We live in a state that has something called compulsory education. It means you have to go to school and you have to be promoted to the next grade. That's not optional. And in order to be promoted, you have to complete what your school district, in our case Calvary, says you need to do at least this to be promoted to the next grade. That alone should be motivation. But I realize every house and every student is unique. So if on Friday, May 22nd, you still have some assignments to do, some things to complete in order to be promoted to the next grade, we'll work with your teachers and you on that. Now, about graduation. It's remotely possible that before May 29th, the governor might allow some sort of gatherings with some sort of numeric limit, or it may be that we can gather outdoors sooner than we're allowed to gather indoors. So these dates that I'm giving are tentative. It's unlikely that we will know soon enough in advance to have graduation on Friday, May 29th. If it's possible, we will do that. But we're going to look in 2-week increments beyond that. So if we can't have it on Friday, May 29th, and we can have it by June 12th, we'll do that. If it's going to be outdoors, the seniors are discussing where that might be. The seniors have earned it and they want a real graduation, cap and gowns, tossing the caps, everything. And we're going to do that as soon as we are allowed. If not June 12th, then Friday, June 26th. Then we need to take a break for the 4th of July. We're going to have to play it by ear. But as soon as we can have the ceremony these students deserve, we're going to have that. If it's outdoors, that'll be beautiful. It's my hope that this chat is an encouragement because I do believe that things will return to an improved normal, and we will be safe because we will continue to do what makes sense. We'll continue to care for others. We'll continue to take care of ourselves. And we won't do anything that is not safe. Have a fantastic week and a fantastic month of May.
I see your unchanging heart in the good things and in the hardest parts. I believe and I will follow you. I believe